What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts. Today, we are getting into the brand new video for Koffee, The Harder They Fall, the official soundtrack for the brand new Idris Elba and Jonathon Majors movie. It's obviously a Western, really, really cool film. If you haven't seen it already, definitely go and check out the film. I've got a funny feeling we're going to see kind of clips from the film in the music video itself. And in general, I'm looking forward to getting into it. I have heard the tune before. I played it a couple of times on radio, but we're going to properly sit down and assess it today. Massive fan of Koffee. Obviously, we saw her recently come out at the WizKids show at the O2, and just in general, she's been absolutely killing it. So I'm very excited to see how this one looks and how it sounds. As always, if you are new to the channel, though, please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. We're going to try and hit 17K before Christmas on the subscribers. We can definitely do it with your help, so please do get involved. Without further ado, then, let's jump right into this one. Koffee back in business with The Harder They Fall. I love this film, man. You need to check it out if you haven't seen it already. I'm not getting paid to say that either. You genuinely need to check out this film. It's wicked. I think as well, just on a little note before we get into the actual tune, the whole kind of interesting thing about the film is that they kind of use reggae and a lot of kind of Jamaican music throughout the entirety of it to essentially give off the same atmosphere as you would normally get in a Western, and they do it so well. Honestly, Idris, the way that he kind of aligns the soundtracks around films, obviously he's done it a couple of times with a few different films at this point. Obviously he did it with Yardi as well. He's so good at picking the right sounds for the right films, and I think this is another perfect example of that. The soundtrack itself is great. Just the way it kind of aligns visually and sonically, it's so sick, man. Like, even down to those little chords that we're hearing on this one as well, they have almost like a Western feel to them. The plucked kind of guitar chords, they're sort of semi-electric, semi-acoustic. And when you listen back to a lot of Western themes, you can probably take 4 or 5 pieces of the typical instrumentation and put them into a reggae tune, and they don't sound that mad. Like tunes like Bandolero, for instance, like big system tunes, they have that very typical kind of South American horn to them. And yeah, we're hearing that throughout this already, man. I'm really excited to see where it goes and just how it aligns with the film as well. We're getting scenes from the film. I love this video so much. But yeah, just on arrangement, it's a very kind of classic sounding modern dancehall tune. Like, this is where typical dancehall is in a sort of pop realm. We've got very sort of classic sounding tripleted drums, big bass line running throughout the heart of it. We've still got these very sort of typical halftime syncopated chords, which are kind of like the bedrock of the majority of reggae music over the years, those sort of syncopated chords. But I love the fact in this video, we're getting everyone still in costume for like the time period. It looks like this could be a scene from the actual film, and I think that's such a cool way of approaching an official soundtrack. Obviously, we're getting sort of clips from the film in there as well, and it just aligns so nicely. The sonic and visual kind of alignment of this video to the tune and the soundtrack in general are absolutely through the roof. This is a hit, bro. Just the bass line underneath is lethal as well. That's like it's such a classic sounding system bass line, and when you kind of couple that with the instrumentation, you've got big pulsating drum lines running throughout the middle of it. On top of that as well, you've got these big kind of crunchy snares running through the middle. Just the entire arrangement is so big, it's so huge, it feels like it could fit into both like a pop sort of track listing and also a very kind of classic sounding dancehall listing. This is what Koffee does so well. She treads the line between the kind of commercial and the underground. Really, really clean. I'm just getting flashbacks to watching the film as well. It's so good. Oh, this is sick. That's so sick. The fact they've gone and got like a kind of old school Western dance scene where everyone's kind of doing the in the dance, you know, that kind of typical we're going to a dance, that sort of thing going on. And then you've got Koffee kind of on stage in the same scenario. Everyone's in period costume. And again, the bounce is almost similar. The way they've aligned this is so clever, man. Again, we're getting kind of cutscenes to the film. I cannot stress enough how good the film actually is. It's like a modernized spaghetti western, but with a bit more finesse about it. And I think the way that in the actual film, you've got Idris and Jonathon Majors kind of going up against each other, but they hardly ever actually meet in the film. So sick the way it's put together.
Waistline just pretty, still me I walk nitty-gritty, round up the woman committee, alright dream city, the two of we are free like bird, so better they listen my word, when I sing, hold up your lighter and come, flame in the air, fire, fibona.
That's so sick with the backing vocals coming in as well. Again, the arrangement on this is absolutely through the roof. We know the arrangement on this is absolutely through the roof. The way that Koffee's approached it, the way the production team behind it have approached it, it's a perfect movie soundtrack. It's got catchy elements. It's got very kind of classic sounding dancehall elements. There are little elements of kind of Western, like as in the film type Western, kind of rolled throughout it as well. In fact, we're now getting these kind of choral kind of backing vocals in there as well. Give it that kind of heroic theme as well. There's definitely a kind of heroes versus villains theme throughout the film as well. It's just so well aligned. It's crazy. The set pieces on this are crazy as well. Like this scene. Oh, I just need to go back slightly. This scene where they're all in the wait, where are we? This scene where they're all in the dance. Like, I don't know why it's just so pleasing to me. Like, it's such a cool way of kind of showcasing how big a tune the actual soundtrack is. The full soundtrack is amazing, by the way. Do go and check it out. If you actually listen to the film, there's like Barrington Levy remixes running throughout it as well. I think there might be a Beres Hammond tune in there as well. I'm not entirely sure, but there's a lot of kind of classic reggae sounds that are kind of reworked into a more Western theme. And it just works so well. It's crazy. Again, you need to watch the film if you haven't already to understand what I mean by that, but it is crazy how well it aligns. Oh, we're just getting a full-on cut from the film at this point. Look how sick it looks as well. The way it's shot is so clean. Yeah, the scene on the actual scene in the film where they're on the train, genuinely probably my favorite scene in the film, where you've just got like pure tension, and you've got actors just showing such a high level of charisma to kind of carry the scene off. Not a lot gets said, but it's all about the tension that builds in the scene where Idris kind of escapes, because Idris is the bad guy in this film. It's not a spoiler. Idris is very early on discovered to be the bad guy in the film. It's not really a spoiler. And then when you kind of couple that with the use of soundtracks in it as well, honestly, I can't stress enough how much you need to see the film if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it went straight to Netflix. The cast in the film is crazy as well. That's sick! The fact that we're getting those, again, almost very Mexican-style horns. They're almost mariachi. That go... Again, you can hear those sort of horns working in a typical reggae tune. You can hear them working in a dancehall tune, and we're hearing here, they work so nicely. They transition so well, because, like, the way they just kind of fit... They sound like they are supposed to be reggae horns when you put them over a reggae or a dancehall tune, but they are very typical sounding Mexican horns, and they just work so well, and they tie this kind of Wild West theme that's running throughout the tune together so well. The thing I love about this video more than anything else is it looks like they could all be scenes from the film. I think that's so well done, the way they've kind of woven it all together. Bassline is so huge. Like, the way it's cutting between different scenes, Like, it genuinely feels like this is part of the film. Like, it feels like, obviously, they've shot it in a few of the same scenes. They've used kind of like the same backdrops. But the way the costumes have been kind of used, the way the video has actually been chopped together, it's actually quite difficult to differentiate between what scenes were in the film, especially when it's like people running out and dancing and stuff. It's actually quite difficult to differentiate between what scenes were in the film and what scenes are just made for the video. It's a very clever video, and it's a good way of kind of pushing the film even further. And it's a great look for Koffee as well. I think this is the first time she's done like a big feature film or anything like that. Works so well. She's like built for this sort of thing, I think. Just like big, catchy, kind of reggae and dancehall inspired creations, but with a much more kind of commercialized edge. I think she is literally perfectly cut for that. There we go. What an outro that is. Crazy stuff. There we go. Koffee, the video for The Harder They Fall. I absolutely love this one. I think Koffee does a fantastic job with the vocals. I think the instrumental is perfect. I think the video is cut together with such kind of precision that this is just the perfect accompaniment for the film. It's a great way of actually celebrating a very good soundtrack alongside it. Fantastic stuff. Outro Idris, each and every time, constantly upping the levels in regards to sort of sonic and visual alignment. He's got a new tune out today as well, which I might need to check out a little bit later. It's very, very different. But moving forward, if you are new to the channel and you did enjoy this reaction, technical analysis and musical breakdown, please make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all that good stuff, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCamTV. Stay locked.